All right, so we're going to go over nested if statements. So these are if statements within other if statements. So for example, let's say we have the following. If uh, j is greater than I, then execute the following code. And inside the following code, there's another if statement, which is that if j is also greater than k, then execute this following code. And we can, let's add a print statement here. We're going to say j is greater than, hold on, then k and I. Okay. Now, if j is less than k, we're gonna put a different print statement. So we do else here, and we're gonna do system dot out dot print line, and this is gonna be k is greater than j. Hold on, let me move this. This is the example for later on. Okay, let me move this away. There we go. K is greater than j, but less than I. Okay, so this is true. Now over here, we're gonna add an else statement that belongs to this if statement. So this one will print out that j is less than I if this statement is false, and if this statement is false, then this whole statement will never execute. Okay, so this is an example of how nested if statements work. So it checks if the first if statement is true, and if it is true, then and if there's another if statement within that if statement, then it'll execute this if statement, and it checks if this if statement is true, and if it is true, then I'll execute this, and if it's not true, then I'll execute this, and then I'll escape the first if statement without executing this. But if this if statement is false, then this is not going to execute, and it's just going to go all over to here. Now let's do a quick small program. Okay, so pretty much this program, we have a score. Let's say our score is 79, and we want to print out a letter grade. So we'll have if score is greater than or equal to 80, I want to print out a statement. I want to print out my grade. So my grade will be an A. However, if it's less than that, so hold on. So else, oh, sorry. Okay, else if our score is greater than or equal to 70. So right now I'm doing a nested if statement inside my else statement. So the one we did before, it was a nested if statement inside another if statement. Now we're doing a nested if statement inside an else statement. If score is greater than or equal to 70, then I want to print out the grade is B. Okay? So like since it's 79, this statement is not going to be true, but it's going to go to this statement, and this statement is true. However, what if this statement is not true? Let's say we have 60 instead. Then we'll go to our next one. Else if score is greater than or equal to 60, then it'll be C. Okay? But what if we have a 50 instead? Well, then we do the same thing. Else if our score is greater than or equal to 50, then print the following. Our score is D. But now what if we get below 50? So let's see, we got 30. That's a fail, right? Then we'll do else score. Well, wait, sorry. I mean print statement. It's an F. Okay? Now notice how, like, messy this kind of looks. Well, there's a method that's out there called an else if statement. So pretty much we can combine this else and this if together. So it'll look like this. Else if. Okay, that looks much more better. And then let's do the same for everything else. So this one, let's indent back. Okay. And then let's indent these two back by one. Now let's undent these else's. Okay. Let's take care of that. All right, now that looks much more cleaner. So this is another example of how we can do nested if statements inside else. Okay, so there's this method called else if. Now let's run this code. All right, we get an F. Okay. Now finally, let's do a practice. Okay, so we have the following. So what is wrong with this code? So let's say we have a score. Hold on, let me get my pen ready. Let's say we have a score, and score is equal to 80. What grade should that be? That should be an A, right? Well, let's check the first if statement. If this is an 80, 80 is greater than or equal to 60, so it's going to output a D. But I have an 80, so why should I be getting a D? So that's exactly what's wrong with this code. It's printing the lowest number first. Okay, so the only two lines that will get executed is this line and this line at the very end, because if we get less than 60, so if you get, let's say, a 40, then it's obviously none of these are going to execute. So it's just going to be at the very end. So that's what's wrong with this code.